Alright, so this is part 2 of my Call of Duty Ghosts retrospective. This is the ranting segment. This is where I just talk about COD Ghost and everything surrounding my frustration with it. If you missed part 1, it's a general overview. I just talk about the things I liked, the things that were going on at the time, nothing really big or crazy. In this video, we're going to draw some comparisons to Modern Warfare 2019 and also just tear the game apart in general. This is all in good fun, so don't take it too critically, and we're going to start with my comparison to Modern Warfare 2019. In my opinion, Call of Duty Ghosts and Modern Warfare 2019 both drastically fucked up in a very simple way. They played around with old reliable. The minimap in Call of Duty is supposed to be your best friend or worst enemy at any given time in a match. Countering the minimap requires trade-offs, and Modern Warfare messed this up big time by not showing unsuppressed fire on the minimap. See, Call of Duty Ghosts did this right. Suppressors had downsides, but they kept you off the minimap. So if you wanted to hide and be a campy little shit, you had to spend anywhere from 6 to 8 points to have the right amount of stealth perks to actually stay completely hidden, which took up your whole class, and a suppressor that hurt your weapon's damage range, and then you could hide off the minimap. Modern Warfare just allows you to run the Ghost perk, and even if you don't have a suppressor, you won't show up on the minimap, unless there's a UAV in the air. But if there's a UAV in the air, don't worry, Ghost hides you off the UAV, and suppressors, one of them at least, the one that everybody uses, actually adds damage range. It might slow your gun down a little bit, but it adds 7% to your damage range. So how is this similar to Call of Duty Ghosts? Well, Call of Duty Ghosts played around with the UAV. They removed it. They got rid of the UAV and replaced it with a SATCOM. One SATCOM on your team's field allowed you to spot enemies within line of sight, and then they'd be on the minimap. 2 SATCOMs acted like a traditional UAV and actually swept the minimap for enemies. And then you had 3 SATCOMs which acted like an advanced UAV. This is nonsense. This is unnecessary. They should not have done this. Because when you're playing with randoms, trying to coordinate when SATCOMs are supposed to go down, it just isn't happening. You just hold on to yours until you hear friendly SATCOM active, and then you place yours down. This heavily added to the camping issue in Call of Duty Ghosts. Also, Call of Duty Ghosts had IEDs. You think claymores or landmines are bad, bouncing betties are bad? They are, but IEDs are so much worse. Because Infinity Ward refused to do one very simple thing to the IEDs, and that's take the sticky tape off of them. The IED is essentially a proximity mine that can go anywhere. In the corner above a door, in a window, you could throw it up on a flagpole if you wanted to. They were landmines that you could throw like C4s, and like C4, they would stick to every and anything. They didn't have a proximity alarm, which would allow you to detonate them like the C4 in Black Ops 3, for instance. No, these automatically blew up when people got near them. And you don't realize how frustrating this is until you go back and play a Call of Duty game that doesn't have mid-match class customization. I can't throw on Flak Jacket in the middle of the game. So I have to completely switch my class if I keep getting blown up by IEDs. The entire life cycle of Call of Duty Ghosts, I was able to adapt to IED campers, and I did very good at debunking them out of their rooms, but it required me to build classes specific to that. But I tried to always run an explosive and sit rep so that I can see where IEDs are and blow them up without entering the room. But back in the day, there was also a problem where enemies could throw C4, lethals and tacticals, really just throw shit around a riot shield. You guys remember this? You could hold a riot shield and throw lethals and tacticals without revealing your body. How did that get past QA? Quality was not assured here. This was bullshit on any game mode. I was gonna say objective game modes, but really just any game mode, you'd find at least 3 people doing this. You think the riot shield throwing knife combo in Modern Warfare was annoying? No, this is 10 times worse. People would also run the perk that took the red name off of your head, and then they would use a ghillie suit and lay in bushes with thermal LMGs, and that was also fun to deal with for an entire year. Seriously, nothing was properly tweaked about this. People would hold completely still in a low resolution game. If you were playing this on the 360, God help you, but even on the Xbox One, the game's running at like 900p, 720p or something like that. And so if somebody's laying in a bush with a ghillie suit, a thermal LMG, and no red name above their head, you just don't see them. And in a game where you die as quickly as you do, oh my god, this ruined the game for the entire life cycle in a lot of cases. And it felt like every map had an area for a bush Wookiee to hide. Like some dark corner, even if it wasn't like foliage, but there usually was like some level of foliage, and so you always had to like double take when you looked, because it could very well be somebody watching you with a thermal LMG. It was awful. Then you had shotguns that were incredibly frustrating to go against. Now, Call of Duty shotguns have always been frustrating to some degree or another, but the Bulldog was the first spammable shotgun in Call of Duty that about made me throw my controller. For some reason, it didn't bother me when I got USAS'd or Strikered in previous COD games, but I would lose my mind when I would get killed by a Bulldog in Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, one of the things I did like, I know it's a rant, but I'm gonna say something nice here. I really liked that you could put slugs in the shotguns. That was the first time we were able to just add slugs to our shotguns, and then you could just use them like rifles. Like, they had the same damage range and like hit scan of like a rifle, and so you could just, in hardcore mode, use the Bulldog with slugs and a red dot as if it was a marksman rifle. And I do want, okay, that's funny. But what wasn't funny was constantly getting shotgun spammed in close quarters. Constantly. So either you fought a bush Wookiee at a distance that you could barely see, or somebody up close with a gun that you couldn't beat. But as if bush Wookiees and annoying shotguns and IEDs on the SATCOM issue wasn't enough, we also have the issue with the game being dull as hell. I do not know what was going on at Infinity Ward during this time, but they seemed depressed and the game echoed it. We went from loading up Black Ops 2 and listening to this to loading up Call of Duty Ghosts and essentially listening to cinematic background noise. I don't even want to call it a song or music, it's just noise. Everything's gray and dark and bleak and sad, and I don't know why they tried to take themselves so seriously when it came to the multiplayer. It was reflected also in the kill streaks. I mean, the kill streaks were so mundane and boring and unfun to control. There was nothing that was as good as like the Modern Warfare 2 or 3 AC-130s or Ospreys, or anything. There was nothing like Black Ops 2's AGR even. There wasn't even something as fun as the Black Ops 2 AGR. Like, we had just come from Black Ops 2, where you had the Hunter-Killer drone and the Hailstorm missile and Lightning Strike. Call of Duty Ghosts feels almost more boring than COD 4 when it comes to streaks. In COD 4, you could shake the map and scare the hell out of everybody with a chopper gunner, whereas this just was not the case. And every streak in every Call of Duty before Call of Duty Ghosts felt better. Calling it Attack Dogs in World at War, the Chopper Gunner in Black Ops 1, the AC-130 in MW2, the Swarm in Black Ops 2. On top of that, it didn't have the Call of Duty charm. Money didn't fly out of people when you killed them anymore. There wasn't big yellow text that showed up on screen when you got kills. There weren't medals. Black Ops 2 introduced medals that were a nice, well, I guess they were sort of in Black Ops 1, but Black Ops 2 gave you an actual medal for doing things. You got a medal that said collateral, or double kill, or triple kill, or bloodthirsty. Call of Duty Ghosts gave you plain white text. Look in the gameplay here. The kill feed is boring. It doesn't stand out when you yourself do something on this kill feed. It's so sad. And if you're doing poorly, you have to look up at your KD every time you look up in the top right of the screen. So if you have like 10 kills and 30 deaths, you just have to look up there and see that the whole game. And there's this weird crushing sense of no fun allowed when it comes to Call of Duty Ghosts. They massively overcorrected for Modern Warfare 2, because Modern Warfare 2 was all about, you know, getting your chopper gunner and then ruining everybody else's fun until you could end the game with a nuke or, you know, get an AC-130 or some shit. Okay, and you could say that took skill. A lot of times people did not get those things through skill, but okay, whatever. But there was like a fun factor to it. There was like a bullshit fun factor. Whereas COD Ghosts wasn't like that. It didn't give you a good heads-up display. It didn't give you uplifting, fun, fast-paced music. It was, again, it wasn't even trying to be like tactical either. Like, Modern Warfare is trying to go for something a little bit more photorealistic, something kind of tactical with a couple of fun things in there. Whereas like back then, Call of Duty Ghosts was just going for depression? It doesn't have that methodical, tactical operator vibe. It just has everything's gray. It wasn't until later DLC maps that Call of Duty Ghosts actually got interesting and fun. But the base game of Call of Duty Ghosts is depressing to look at. When you load up the multiplayer, in contrast to Black Ops 2, it's a drab and dire experience. Call of Duty Ghosts didn't even launch with a killing hit marker. You had to just deal with plain white hit markers until you got plus 100 on your screen in plain white text. Where Call of Duty Ghosts succeeded in map variety and class customization, it absolutely dropped the ball entirely when it comes to the presentation and feel of the game. And that pisses me off, because I want to stand up for Call of Duty Ghosts and say this is one of my favorite COD games, I have so many fond memories, but then I look at it, I listen to it, and nothing about it stands out. All I have with this game is nostalgia and an appreciation for a pretty awesome creative class system and fun interactable environments. Honestly though, it is a very boring COD. Looking back on it, I was a little disappointed. I didn't go into it pessimistic, but I sort of came out a little pessimistic. As a shooter, it's pretty solid. As a product, it's really boring. And that's sad to say.